There is a quiet power in the way you speak. According to the teachings of Marcus Aurelius, we are disturbed not by events, but by our judgments about them. When you react with anger, you lose influence. When you respond with calm clarity, you gain respect. In this video, you will discover 5 powerful phrases inspired by Stoic wisdom that make you sound wise instead of emotional. These phrases will help you control conversations, protect your peace, and strengthen your presence. If you want to grow in confidence and inner strength, make sure you subscribe to this channel for more deep Stoic lessons that transform the way you think and speak. First phrase. Let me think about that. This simple response gives you space. Instead of reacting instantly, you pause. Pausing shows emotional control. It prevents regret. The Stoics believed that self-mastery is greater than controlling others. When you say this, you show that your mind is disciplined. People respect someone who thinks before speaking. Anger is quick. Wisdom is patient. This phrase shifts you from reaction to reflection, and reflection is power. Second phrase. I understand your perspective. You do not have to agree to understand. This phrase lowers tension immediately. It tells the other person that you are listening. Much conflict grows from the need to be heard. When you acknowledge someone's view calmly, you rise above ego. Epictetus taught that we have control over our responses. Choosing understanding over argument shows strength. Wise people seek clarity, not victory. Third phrase. That may be true. This phrase removes defensiveness. It does not surrender your position, but it softens resistance. When someone criticizes you, instead of fighting back, you respond with composure. This creates psychological balance. You remain grounded while others expect anger. The Stoic mindset teaches acceptance of what you cannot control. By admitting possibility, you show maturity. Anger argues. Wisdom evaluates. Fourth phrase. What can we learn from this? This transforms problems into lessons. Instead of blaming, you redirect the focus toward growth. This mindset reflects Stoic resilience. Every challenge becomes training for the mind. Seneca believed adversity reveals character. When you ask this question, you lead the conversation toward improvement rather than conflict. Leaders think in lessons. Reactive people think in insults. Fifth phrase. I choose to stay calm. This is a declaration of control. You remind yourself and others that your peace is intentional. Calmness is not weakness. It is disciplined strength. When you choose calm, you command respect without raising your voice. Stoicism teaches that your inner state is your responsibility. By saying this, you show that no external event controls your character. When you begin to practice wise speech, you start to notice something powerful. Most conflicts are not caused by events themselves, but by emotional reactions. A harsh tone, a defensive reply, a quick interruption, these are sparks that turn small disagreements into large fires. The Stoic philosophers understood this deeply. They believed that speech reveals the condition of the soul. If your words are restless, your mind is restless. If your words are calm, your mind is trained. Wise speech is not about sounding intellectual. It is about sounding grounded. Anyone can shout. Anyone can argue. But very few people can remain composed when challenged. That composure is what makes others pause and reconsider their approach. It changes the dynamic of the room. Instead of escalating tension, you neutralize it. Consider how often people regret what they say in moments of anger. Words spoken in emotion often travel further than intended. They damage relationships, weaken authority, and create unnecessary enemies. Stoicism teaches restraint not because silence is weakness, but because restraint is strength. When you learn to speak deliberately, you stop giving away your power. The phrase, "let me think about that," becomes even more powerful when practiced consistently. It creates a reputation around you. People begin to see you as someone who does not react impulsively. They see someone who values clarity over speed. In a world obsessed with instant responses, thoughtful pauses stand out. Silence becomes strategic. When someone criticizes you unfairly, the instinct is to defend yourself immediately. But what if you paused? What if you allowed a few seconds of calm before responding? That small gap between stimulus and response is where wisdom lives. The Stoics trained themselves to widen that gap. They practiced observing their emotions instead of obeying them. Imagine a heated conversation at work or within your family. Voices rise. Emotions intensify. Then you respond gently, "I understand your perspective." Suddenly the energy shifts. The other person feels acknowledged. Defensiveness softens. You have not surrendered your position, but you have prevented escalation. That is influence without aggression. True strength is often quiet. Loud dominance is fragile because it depends on intimidation. Calm dominance depends on stability. When you remain composed, you communicate security. You show that your identity is not threatened by disagreement. This makes you difficult to manipulate. The phrase, "that may be true," also holds deep power. It interrupts the cycle of argument. When someone expects resistance and instead receives consideration, they lose momentum. You stay balanced while they reconsider their tone. This is not about being passive. It is about being strategic. Stoic wisdom encourages us to separate facts from interpretations. Often what angers us is not the event itself but the meaning we attach to it. When you respond with measured phrases, you signal that you are analyzing rather than reacting. That alone increases respect. Another powerful extension of wise speech is asking clarifying questions. Instead of saying, "you're wrong," you might ask, "can you explain what you mean?" This keeps the conversation constructive. It also gives you time to process. Anger rushes to conclusions. Wisdom investigates. When you ask, "what can we learn from this?" you transform failure into fuel. Instead of dwelling on blame, you move toward growth. This mindset changes how others perceive setbacks around you. They begin to associate you with solutions rather than complaints. The Stoics believed that every difficulty is training for character. If someone insults you, that is training in patience. If someone misunderstands you, that is training in clarity. If someone challenges you, that is training in composure. When you see life as training, you stop reacting personally. You respond strategically. "I choose to stay calm," is not only something you say outwardly. It is something you repeat internally. It reminds you that emotional reactions are choices, not inevitabilities. You are not a slave to mood. You are not controlled by external noise. You govern yourself. Over time, practicing these phrases reshapes your identity. You become the person others rely on during tension. You become the steady presence in chaos. This reputation compounds. People seek your opinion because they trust your emotional balance. Wise speech also protects your mental energy. Arguments drain you. Defensiveness exhausts you. But calm dialogue conserves strength. Stoicism is not about suppressing emotion, it is about directing it wisely. When your speech is controlled, your mind follows. There will be moments when remaining calm feels difficult. In those moments, remember that anger often feels powerful but leaves weakness behind. Calm may feel quiet, but it leaves authority behind. One builds temporary dominance. The other builds lasting respect. Imagine walking into a room where people are debating intensely. Instead of matching their energy, you lower your voice. Instead of interrupting, you listen. Instead of accusing, you inquire. Gradually, others adjust their tone to match yours. That is leadership through composure. Wise phrases act like anchors. They stabilize the conversation. They prevent emotional drift. They create space for thought. And thought is where growth happens. When you master your words, you master your presence. When you master your presence, you influence outcomes without force. This is the essence of Stoic communication. Clarity without cruelty, firmness without fury, strength without shouting. If this deeper exploration is helping you refine your speech and strengthen your mindset, subscribe to this channel. Join a community committed to discipline, self-mastery, and wisdom. More powerful Stoic insights are coming, and each one will help you grow stronger, calmer, and more respected in every area of life.